Ever wondered what a Toyota Yaris might be like with over 250 braked horses beneath the bonnet? No, we hadn't either, but Toyota's made one anyway. The wild GR Yaris. It's a rather unique confection. This, the second Toyota GR Motorsport influenced product, is quite differently orientated from the first. Whereas the GR Supra is a sports car developed through track racing, the GR Yaris is a model that's engineered through participation in rallying. A car very much in the mould of performance classics of the past, like Subaru's Impreza WRX and the Mitsubishi Evo. Those cars used 2-litre engines, but units of that size wouldn't fit in the Yaris, and anyway, they'd be too heavy. Even the 1.6-litre unit that is used here has just 3 cylinders, but it does pack quite a turbo punch. 257 bhp, 360 newton meters, and 62 from rest in just 5.5 seconds on the way to a maximum of 143 miles an hour. The old Yaris GRMN, for reference, put out 209 bhp. This GR Yaris's powertrain, the world's most powerful 3-cylinder engine, is mated to a 6-speed IMT, intelligent manual transmission stick-shift gearbox with permanent 4-wheel drive provided by the brand's latest GR4 system. Believe it or not, this is the first original sports all-wheel drive system that Toyota has created in 20 years, and it features a multi-plate clutch delivering power to all 4 wheels via 3 preset torque distribution levels. Normal has a 60-40 split front to rear, Sport pushes nearly all the power to the back, 30-70, and Track has an equal 50-50 split. There are big brakes too, 356mm grooved front brake discs featuring 4-pot calipers, and a set of sticky tyres, either Dunlop Sport Max or Michelin Pilot Sport rubber. Plus, the regular Yaris model's basic torsion beam rear suspension is replaced here by a more sophisticated double wishbone setup. It all works brilliantly. In fact, if you drive this car hard, as we have, you might conceivably conclude that the 4-wheel drive system is almost too good. I mean, even in the wet, getting traction to break free requires hooligan tendencies that would attract the attention of the local constabulary. Otherwise, the car sticks rigidly to almost any chosen cornering line that you choose to give it in a determined manner, which might not please those in search of the kind of tail-out antics that the designers of this Toyota would probably frown on. It is worth pointing out, though, that our experience here is of a car fitted out with the optional circuit pack, which many GR Yaris customers will want. That gets you track-tuned GR circuit suspension and Torsen differentials, both front and rear, for better transmitting torque to the tarmac. And efficiency with a GR Yaris? Well, likely customers probably won't care too much that the official WLTP rated efficiency figure is 34.3 mpg on the combined cycle. If you ever get near to that on a regular basis, then you probably shouldn't have bought this car in the first place, and it really does deserve a better home. You know where we are, incidentally. The official WLTP emissions return is 186 grams per kilometre of CO2. Engineer Naihiko Saito was put under pressure here to retain the regular Yaris model's 5-door body shell, but he wasn't having it. He held out for a stiffer, bespoke 3-door body that no other Yaris model in the range can have. And that's not the only thing that's different here over an ordinary hybrid Yaris. Virtually everything else has changed too. In fact, only the headlights, the door mirrors, the rear light clusters and the shark fin roof antenna have been carried over to this wild GR model, which is 55mm longer and sits 45mm lower than its more conservative showroom stablemate. So it's brash outside, but what will this car be like behind the wheel? Quite a bit more restrained is the answer, but that doesn't mean it'll be more like your granny's Yaris Hybrid. Quite the opposite, in fact. For a start, there's a manual gear lever, and it's set high and close to the unique 3-spoke GR Yaris wheel for rapid shifts. And you sit on specially designed and very supportive race-style sport seats, trimmed in lovely ultra-suede upholstery with contrast stitching and set at just the right angle to reach these drilled aluminium sports pedals. The instrument binnacles 2 analog meters. They have white figures and red needles. And if you look closer, you'll see that the rev counter redlines at 7,000 RPM, and there's a speedo that goes to 180 miles an hour. Yes, in a Yaris. Now, between these two gauges, the 4.2-inch TFT colour multi-information display adds an all-wheel drive indicator showing the torque distribution and the mode selected for the GR4 all-wheel drive system. Plus, there's also a turbo pressure monitor. There's a mechanical hand-operated parking brake, which Toyota suggests that the driver can use for cornering in rally stage driving, and a GR4 selector, which is set just forward of the gear lever for easy changes between the cars, provided normal, sport and track modes. Plus, plenty of GR badging is scattered around the cabin to remind you exactly what you've bought. You'll find it on the steering wheel here, on the engine start button and on the floor mats. Plus, there's a little plaque on the centre console. Let's take a look in the rear. Now, access to that is made easier by the generous forward tipping angle of those front seats. Once in the back, well, there's not a lot of space, with headroom, especially the premium, thanks to the lowered roofline. For more than a short trip, you'd have to be of school age not to grouse about the prospect of being confined here for very long. There's not a great deal of luggage space either. This trunk is compact, it's 880mm long and 1423mm wide, which means that capacity is rated at just 174 litres. In summary, there's nothing remotely sensible about this car, and that's exactly why its small band of loyal buyers will like it. There are lots of Super Mini hot hatches that on paper seem a no-brainer choice over a pricey GR Yaris, but on the road, none of them will feel as raw or perhaps as exciting. This is as close as Toyota Gazoo Racing can get to bringing you a Yaris World Championship rally car fettled for road use. More power to them.